Hey everybody, my name is Bailey. This is my sweet, good boyfriend, Carlo. I'm American.
Italian.
And we go back and forth between America and Italy. He studied in America for
10 months.
10 months? Wow. And we wanted to do this video for a long time, just because there are so many cultural differences in this area. And you probably know from the title what I'm talking about, but we want to talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Disclaimer, this is not going to be about the actual act of sex, so all you 12-year-old boys, you can just go ahead and click out now because it's going to be boring for you. It's going to be more about the social stigmas around sex and how society handles it as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like the sexual culture between the two.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to start talking about like our first sort of experiences learning about sex. I never had an actual sexual education. Like no school or program ever taught me what sex is. There were like things about your body's changing. There were things about periods and like how boys change too. There was things about like, so this is really embarrassing, but I took a health class my senior year of high school, but I did not learn what a condom was, how to use a condom. I did not learn about birth control. It was not preventative sexual.
We should explain what a health class is.
Oh.
Because a lot of people don't know. Like when I went to the US and they were like, you need to take health class. And I was like, okay, what's that?
So a health class is a class where everybody has to take it. And it's basically just, how would you explain it?
It's, you learn about the general, like, disease, like what kind of disease are going around, how to prevent them, how to, in a very basic way.
Not even a sexual disease, just like
no, just in general.
And also like, drug abuse. We covered. We did a whole thing about drug abuse in my class.
I think I had a lesson about that.
We covered like
even I think there was like something like health around the world.
Yeah,
it's
we
like
did something
when
on
you come and go
like,
from the country, what you should do. It's just like
an overall like health class. Like we learned about diet tips too. Like
that's true.
We learned about like what like nutrients are, but I mean it didn't like it's not like a real class. Like they know what a health class is. So when my health class rolled around to the sexual education part of the course, I didn't actually learn like what sex was. Like if I didn't already know, like I already knew because of like movies and you know I'm not dumb. You like figure it out. My parents didn't even tell me. Anyways, I had to figure it out on my own.
Your parents didn't tell you?
No.
Your dad did?
No one told me anything. I had to learn on my own. I actually got a book from the library about sex and I did not bring it back. Not because I was like keeping it like, it's mine, it's because I lost it. Anyway, so I didn't learn this class was full of freshmen and what my teacher said, she said, sex is great.
Freshmen are the first year. It's the first year of high school. A lot of people don't know.
So there was a bunch of like babies basically in this class and the teacher said, sex is great when you're married. And she would push like, don't have sex. It's called abstinence-based sexual education. It's teaching you, it's more like scaremonger. It's like almost religious-based, but they can't actually say it's religious-based. They just think it's for married people.
And it's like the thing that is going for the most in the US, right?
Yeah, so it depends like from class to class. Even like in Colorado, it can go either way.
It depends on the teacher.
My sister had a class which was preventative-based sexual education, which means she did learn about birth control and condoms. But because I had a different teacher, I learned don't have sex. You will get pregnant and die. So that wasn't very fun. I was actually really mad the whole time. We even had like a sheet to fill out of like things that were girl qualities and things that were boy qualities. And I was livid.
I'm so glad I didn't have
it was like bullshit. Anyway, something funny about the teacher. She says sex is great when you're married. She was never married. Bitch, you didn't know if sex was good or not. Okay. So what about your sexual education?
Know that like it's mandatory for every school to have people coming and explaining all these things. We had a lot of conferences where people would come for 2 hours and like told us everything. So we perfectly knew how the act was made, what a condom was, what lube was, how to prevent from like being like pregnant, early or like birth control. She told us everything. So I feel like we covered that thing too really well, but I also like it's up to a middle schooler to listen and be interested, which I don't think happens.
What?
Because all of these things happen in middle school or like the first year of high
Are
school.
you joking? If this would have happened in my middle school, everyone would have been like, oh. And like if there was like a big like assembly or lecture, people would have been like whispering, like, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh yeah, like people are
But people
really
would have
dumb.
paid attention.
We would pay attention, but it was more of a joke than like a serious matter. Like, don't get pregnant at 15. But like also where I went to school, nobody got pregnant. Nobody like I have never heard of that.
That's something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Because the United States has such a poor system to like offer, you know, preventative-based sexual education, the pregnancy rates in teenagers is very high. I had a couple of my friends get pregnant in high school. It's pretty normal there. Like, I mean, it's like a big deal. Like, oh, it's like, oh God, she's pregnant. That's really, oh my gosh. But I mean, like, it's not uncommon to see like 4 or 5 pregnant girls in high school at a certain time.
Yeah, I was actually shocked at that in my political class, a pregnant girl. And she was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And even in like my track team, there was this girl that like was running like for the first week and then she was gone. And then she came back and she was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I cannot do this anymore. And I was like, and she was a sophomore, which is a second year.
Yeah, well,
and it was like,
it's definitely not uncommon. Like my best friend, her mom gave birth to my best friend at 15, or at 16, I don't remember. My stepmom gave birth at 17. It's just, it's the way things are here, and I think it can be traced back to not teaching preventative-based sexual education as early as like 6th or 7th grade, because honestly, kids are having sex in 6th and 7th grade. Like I know some of my friends who are having sex at 12, and if they don't know how to use a condom, and they continue to have, yeah,
that's way too early.
I know. So, yeah, if people always like to shit on America because we have so many teenage pregnancies, but if you just do your research, you'll understand why these girls end up in situations that they do. It's because they are often raised in religious families or families who are just like too kind of scared to bring up sex. There's a conversation that like every girl has to have with her parents once she starts having sex, and it's the birth control like talk. And you know, parents should bring it up on their own. But if a girl feels that she can't trust her parents, if she'll get in trouble for having sex, she won't say anything, and she won't get the materials she needs to prevent pregnancy.
I do feel that like in the US I found much more of a taboo talking about it. Like even with people that like were completely open about it, like bringing up that like sex in like school sometimes would make people really uncomfortable.
I did come from a small town, so obviously in bigger cities this isn't going to be as much of an issue. Like, you know, San Francisco, California, it's probably not going to be much of an issue compared to small town Colorado.
And also like they have to take into account that I come from a big city from Italy, so there is that discrepancy.
But even in small towns in Italy, I doubt that it's like,
I feel like there are some like little towns that like,
but I doubt that it's like at the rate of small towns in America.
Probably true.
Like the fact that I have friends now who have 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, it's like.
Well, I know that like there are people here that get pregnant, but like I've never seen one.
I know many.
I've seen like many there when I was there.
Yeah. So I think also I want to bring up how parents feel once their kids start having sex. I know that my parents probably want nothing. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to even think about it. They don't even want to feel like I'm at that level. And
well, it's not true.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't want to feel it. They don't want to hear about it.
It's not just that. Like my dad does not want to think about it. He doesn't.
No, yeah, I know, but like he knows that you are at that.
Well, yeah,
point.
He knows, but he just like there's no conversation. Like it's kind of spooky because it's like, what if I had an STD or something? Like where would I go?
I'm sure he will understand. He would understand.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be like, no, don't talk to me about that.
But
Keep it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that parents should like enjoy hearing about their kids having sex. Like that's not what I'm saying. But it's just like even we like there are rules that in some of my friends' house, like even after they come back from college, if they come back with a girlfriend or boyfriend, they're asked to respect the house, keep the door open, sleep in separate rooms. It's like a thing, and it sucks. It really sucks. Like
well, that happens here too. It would never happen with my parents. But like even your dad is really open about that.
He doesn't have to set rules because then he'll have to think about it. My dad is just like, whatever, don't. My dad's like, whatever, I don't want to think about it. Just do whatever you want.
This friend of mine, he never brought like a girl home or whatever, and he bought condom once and he put them in the drawer and he forgot about that. And the mom opened the drawer at a certain point and he found condoms and she was happy about it because she thought that like he was having sex and she was like, yes, finally. But yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen. Like, maybe if you're like 30 years old and you're still living with your parents and your parents find like condoms, it's like, he's growing up. But like that would never happen if you were like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, he was 18.
Yeah, never, ever. People would like, a mom would have like a panic attack, I feel like. Maybe that mom was like special.
I don't know. I feel like my mom, I don't know, maybe my mom would have been happy, but like my mom wouldn't care. Like I don't think she would care finding like condoms or whatever in my room. Unless I was like 13, then she was like weirded out. Like even in Italy, the things about sexuality or whatever, it's very different from family to family. Like I had a really positive experience, a really open experience, but like I'm sure that there are some people that are not open about it. So it's like, even in the US, I feel like maybe it's more on the closed side and here it's more on the open side, but there are like a variety of people.
Well, yeah, for sure. I also wanted to bring up something that I think a lot of Italians will be surprised at, and it's like nudity at the beach. And I don't mean like no swimsuit at all, but like maybe like a girl doesn't have a top, or maybe like
Speedos.
Yeah, Speedos aren't really a thing in the United States, but I don't think they're bad or anything. I think they're normal now that I've seen them and whatever. At first, when I first came here, I was like surprised that there were girls who were like 8, 9, who didn't have swimsuit tops. And that's something that you would not see in the United States. At least in my experience, because from a very young age, girls are taught that like this area is like, you need to hide it. And even, I remember we had a little blow up pool in my front yard when I was like 5 or 6. And I wanted to go out there, but I couldn't find my top, my swimsuit top. And my mom was like, you know, you can go out without your top. And I was like, no, I can't. That's bad. Like that actually happened, and I didn't think that it would be right to go out without my top on. And like I was 5 years old. I was a baby. Like there was no difference between my chest and the boy next door's chest. But for some reason I felt like I needed to hide it. And I don't know why it's different that like here in Italy, like girls aged 8, 9 who haven't developed can like run around without a top, and it's just normal.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I think it's much better. I think it's much better to not sexualize children. Like, for some reason, there's like this weird sort of thing in the United States. Like, I think it's much better that girls here are just, you know, like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to hide. Like there shouldn't be anything to hide at all.
Yeah, my mom was talking about that the other night at dinner. She said that like my sister actually requested the top after a while because she wouldn't buy it.
But yeah, that's the thing that I noticed. Also, there's a lot more sunbathers who like are women who don't like wear a top, and it's like pretty normal.
Oh yeah, here it's very normal.
Yeah, and
like people don't want the tan line to stop in the back, and so they just go topless on the beach.
Yeah,
but doesn't that happen in California too?
I mean, I've never been to California.
I think I've seen that in California.
I think there are designated like beaches for that.
Really?
Yeah.
People in California comment
saying
Yeah,
that.
if you're from California, comment to say if it's okay to be topless on a beach. So that's another thing that I disagree strongly with in the United States. I generally think that Italy has a better idea of like how to handle sexual education, like an attitude towards sex, like a societal attitude towards sex. And I wish that people still would be open about sex and like it's not a criminal thing to do.
Maybe it'll come back. Maybe.
Okay,
I mean,
so that's basically what I wanted to talk about.
That's it.
There's a lot to this subject, but I only know my personal experiences.
That's
and
true.
What
Well,
you've told
it's
me
like this is like the surface of the argument, and
so sorry if this video is a disappointment, because I know that there are going to be some little kids who are clicking on it like, oh, sex.
maybe not.
We can give them a kiss. All right, hit that like button if you agree with us. Comment below if you think that we got some things wrong in this video. Tell us your thoughts about.
Comment if you're from California.
Comment
I
if
want
you're
to
from
know.
California. And subscribe to see more videos like this. We will be
Try to.
posting. Well,
Yeah.
I know we've been recording a bunch of videos, and I'll be posting them even when we're apart. I'll like ration them out as best as I can because I want to like post them all because we've recorded a bunch so far.
That's true. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.